Welcome to our episode of Bargain Saturdays. In this way, I decided to continue our dive through SNL skits turned into feature-length films with Coneheads from 1993, starring Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin as, our titular title characters, the Coneheads. Albeit they also have a daughter, Connie Conehead. Though that comes later in the film and leads into everyday life montage. But yeah, as far as the film goes itself, I think part of the problem for watching this film, for me is that, the Coneheads are rather iconic characters that have certain quirks about them, like eating massive quantities of, foodstuffs, being just weird in certain ways, like how they talk and act and move. Like, there's just certain things about them, that are very predictable if you're familiar with the characters at all. And that kind of hurts the jokes in the film, in my opinion, because a lot of stuff you can see it coming from like a mile away if you're familiar with the characters.
Greetings, Earth Woman. Time for the midday consumption of mass quantities.
I have re-radiated leftover starch discs.
Ah, pizza. I will enjoy it.
There. Warning, do not sear the top of your neck hole in the molten lactate extract of food mammals.
Which can really hurt a film, in my opinion, because, if you're going for a comedy vehicle, having characters that are so predictable really hurts it, because a lot of comedy is all about timing, and since you know where the jokes are going to end, you can usually guess where the timing's going to be at, too. So, yeah, the film was mildly amusing for me, but I can't say I really laughed out loud at anything. And obviously, there's certain scenes and lines from this film that are rather iconic, like Narfel the Garthok.
You will. Narf of the Garthok!
Which are just iconic to the film and kind of unforgettable. But at the same time, I suppose this film is better than Wayne's World, and the fact that it doesn't really feel like it's meandering around. Sure, we're watching the Coneheads go through everyday life as they try to adapt and blend into American society. But, at least there's a goal of buying time there until, a rescue ship can come get them. So, we know they're, just going through the motions, until the right time comes. So it doesn't feel like it's meandering around aimlessly trying to find a way to, connect various jokes together. It feels like things more naturally coalesce around what they're doing. But how funny that is, can be rather relative to your experiences with, our familiarity with the characters. But I can understand why this film's a bit, hated by critics, loved by some critics because they can argue it's like satire about the immigrants' experience in America, and sort of mixed when it comes to the everyday person. And there's some that definitely love this film as a cult classic and will defend its honor, to the bitter end. And there are others that will basically go, yeah, this film's terrible. And I find myself in the middle, I suppose. It's not a good comedy because, it's not going to make me laugh out loud at any of the jokes like, Major League does. And I've watched that film, like half a dozen times, and I can still watch it now and find stuff that will make me laugh. Conehead doesn't have that going for it. Or I should say Coneheads, sorry. Ugh. At the same time, the science fiction stuff in the film is solid enough that keeps the film, at least flowing together well enough that I'm not constantly getting up and walking away while watching it. Unlike Wayne's World, which meandered around so aimlessly to try and tie various jokes together that I got bored and gave up on it almost entirely. Admittedly, I was tired, but yeah, ugh. I was tired when I watched this film, and I still, stayed awake for it. But yeah, if you like the film, more power to you. But I can understand why this film, falls flat for a lot of people. It's just too predictable in a lot of ways. Till next time, then. See ya.
Well, Beldar, you have made me very happy.
Yes, I know. Good night.
Life on Earth is good.
I agree. Stability and contentment have been achieved.